If you learn this one skill and one skill only, it will change your life. Selling naked options after specific checkpoints. In this video, I'm gonna go over all the trade ideas that we have posted in the school group, link below. Let's get started. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Let's learn a skill in 2025. The skill to sell options, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get wrecked. You need to follow a specific set of rules and you're gonna make less, but in the end you will stay long term and pay your bills, make 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 a month. I'm not gonna say you're gonna make 10k, 100k. This is not the case, but you will be able to cover your basic expenses, and that's what I've been doing. So let's get to it. So if you just go to the school group link below, you got two options in here. First, you got three options. The first one is the community, all the trade, all the talk, everything. We got almost 100 members. We got 95. Let's get to 100. You got all the posts, other trade ideas from people, and you get in here one free trade ideas a day. Depends on volatility, depends on a lot of stuff, plus other people contribute and talk. Now, if you go to the classroom, what I've done about 2 weeks ago, I finished this. This is a free course just for you to join. This is just before we go over all the trade ideas, the summary. You click here, it's free to join. Why selling naked puts? About 3 hours worth of content where I talk about Tasty and their margin requirements, why I use Tasty and not Robinhood as cash secured put. Everything you need to know about Tasty, all the overview, how to set everything up, all the indicators that I use, all the settings, all the checkpoints, all for free for you. Just copy if you want, you don't have to. I do have losses, it's not 100% of course, but longevity wise, this is the key. Longevity wise, your goal is to stay in this game as far and long as possible, so you can pay your bills every month again into retirement and beyond. And the last part, you are trading risk, not stocks. Change your mindset, watch the video and understand that it doesn't matter if it's Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia. It really doesn't matter. It matters how much risk you are taking, that you are getting. That is all that matters. And for that, you need to follow all the checkpoints to see, hey, am I getting enough reward for this amount of risk? And so this is all free, okay? In the classroom, this is all free. I've done it, it's done like 2 weeks ago. People are happy, excited, watching the content and giving reviews. When you first join, you will see all the reviews on the first page. Now this one is what cost about $100, one-time fee, $97 one-time fee. I am changing this to $49 a month, probably in January, so it depends when you watch this video. It's up to you. I would just sign up one time, $100. Your grandfather in forever. Now, in this, let's go over all the December trade idea. I'm gonna start a new tab in here, January trade idea, but usually, just FYI, I trade the monthly. Usually I trade the monthly, okay? And because there's just more liquidity and there's more time, I have a set of rules. Watch all the videos, you can learn and understand the set of rules. But in here you get about, I don't know, between 2 and 3 trade ideas. Again, it depends on volatility, it depends on IVR, depends on ATR, depends on the stock, depends where we are, depends on so many things. This isn't a gambling channel. I do not aim for gamble and trade and trade and trade. I trade when the reward justify the risk. That is it. And after everything, answer my criteria. I get to the conclusion, does the risk worth the reward? That's it. Yes, no, I follow through. That's it. I can start. And I started at the bottom, and then I went to like the last trade you will see in here at the top. So every day you will see the most recent trade at the top. And you can see that this is, I haven't done trade for like a week. Again, there's no volatility. Even if you watch Tasty Trade, the last video that I've done, AMAT Jade Lizard, the guy was struggling to find trade ideas. And I understand that there's no volatility, there's nothing. Everyone on holiday in the last week or so, and that's it. We're gonna start the new year. 2025. It's gonna be great. Learn a skill. So let's see what we got. We got Carvana. This was 220. We sold the 150 put. You see here, collected about $250 income. This is the buying power that you need to execute this trade. Now, if you have Robinhood, you would need a little more. You need 15,000. So this is almost cash secured because Carvana is a heavily short stock, heavily short sellers on this, and the expiration January 17. And as long as Carvana stays above 150 in the next about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, it's all good. Let's see where we are now. Just FYI, the price now doesn't really matter as long as if it's not going around the 150, if it's around 150, 155, it's a problem. Or if it's like 200 or something, it could be that this 250 will be worth 500. You're at like 250 loss on paper. But with time, you will see that if it doesn't go above 150, it will expire worthless. You collect 250. And there's the reasoning. I started to add more depth to my trade ideas when I speak. The stock needs to drop. Look at this, 35% in 25 days. If it doesn't, I collect 250. I like the odds. The spike, this is the skill that I'm trying to teach you. Spike in volatility in the last 5 days, what I'm looking for. This is Carvana right here. Price was around 220, and this is a filter that I've added. And you see here, anything above 10% caught my interest. This isn't a price movement, it's a volatility movement. It means that in the average, it's very important, the average in the last 5 days, the average volatility just spiked 32%. Why? I don't know. Maybe there's news, maybe they say something, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It means the volatility spiked 32% compared to the average in the last 5 days. It means the option got insanely expensive. And if this is the 220, and it says here the 220, Carvana needs to drop 35% in 25 days. If it doesn't, I collect 250. So even if it drops 30%, hey, to like, I don't know, 160, 155, and this even it's worth like $1,000 like a week before, and you think, oh my god, I'm at a loss, is as long as it stays above 150, this will expire worthless, and I'll collect 250. So if you just go here, just quickly, I'm gonna show CVNA. I know that it's down, but it's not a big deal. You see, 203. That's it. It was 220, now it's 203. You go to the trade, you pick January 17, you go to the 150 right here, and you see theoretically you're at a loss. Theoretically you're at a loss. It's worth 320. So if you close this trade now, yeah, you're down $70, but it's 150. It's still 25% away, and there's like 2.5 weeks. Eventually, with I would say a week from now, if it doesn't go anywhere, if it stays stable, even this week it will open less. But the goal, 2.5 weeks from now, for this to be above 150. Is it worth $300 now? No, it's worth zero. That $300 is just volatility going insane, and time decay will do its thing. There's not even earnings. You see, if I'm looking, there's no earnings. Otherwise, it would say here, and that's it. That's it. You think you're at a loss. You're not at a loss because you have the 150 put. So theoretically, it's zero, but that zero will be ideally only materialized in 2.5 weeks. So that's what we got. Let's move on to the next one. You see, we got Johnson & Johnson. Look at this. You see, I'm not just trading Nvidia. I'm not just trading Tesla. I'm not just trading Apple or all those popular stock. I'm trading stuff where the risk is worth the reward. Johnson & Johnson, price 144, selling 135. 150 income for 2 contracts. You need $8,000 in buying power. All is one to all, Johnson & Johnson forever. 136, this is key, is Keltner channel on the low side for 4 times the extreme. This is something that I talk about the course. This indicator Keltner channel on my settings, not on the default settings, it's 4 times the extreme. So if the rare cases that the stock goes to the extreme, either on the top side or the bottom side, this is an opportunity long term. I'll be happy to own if we get there, collect the money if it doesn't. You see here, if you click, you see Johnson & Johnson 143, and the 136 is the green, and that green is 8 times the Keltner channel, which is absolutely insane. So if Johnson & Johnson goes there, yeah, I'll hold it. This is part of my forever stock. I have about 50 or so in my forever list. Again, everything is in the course that I would like to own. If it does drop to 8 times Keltner channel, yeah, I'll be happy to own 200 shares of Johnson & Johnson. It's not a big deal. But the beauty of this is, you see here, you sell the 135, two contract on Robinhood is $27,000. 135 times 2 times 100, $27,000 buying power to gives you 150 bucks. That's why no one is doing those trades, because everyone watching YouTube, and YouTube is pumping Robinhood cash secured puts, because nobody know better. Learn to be better. Use your money much more efficiently. I'm only using $8,000 in buying power compared to $27,000 in buying power in Robinhood for the same income, 150 bucks. If you go here, if you go to Johnson & Johnson, it doesn't matter if it goes there. I doubt it will. You see, it's 144. The 135 will expire worthless. This is the 135. Two contract, it's now 40 bucks. You can close the trade. You made over 100, or wait 2 weeks, let it expire worthless. Up to you. But you see the buying power, $8,000 to get. Those are, this is a bill. This is a, I don't know, cable bill. This is a food for a week, you know. It's not a big deal. You're not gonna make 10,000 a month. If you can, depends on your money that you have to do this. But if you're, I don't know, and also you're not gonna make a lot if you only have $5,000. Let's be real. You need some sort of income to generate more income. At the end of the day, as everything in life, the more money you have, the more options you have. No pun intended. Option is the key in life and in this specific thing. But this is what I'm trying to teach you. That's why I use Tasty. $8,000 in buying power, $27,000 in Robinhood in buying power. The outcome is the same. Collect 150 bucks. Which one is more efficient for your money? Let's move on. This really, not this one, but I think I sold 3 MSTX, and 1 or 2 of them is Sylvia really did us bad with this $14 dividend. Am I happy that MSTX is now 35 bucks, dropped $15 because of dividend? I don't know what they're doing over there. They're just insane. They just declare the next day it drops like 35%. That's absolutely insane. But it was 100 bucks like a month ago. So it's something. If I'm gonna own MSTX, not this one, I'm gonna show you in a minute the other trades I've done. I'm gonna own MSTX. I prefer to own it at like 50 bucks compared to 100. Yeah, no one is happy. At the end of the day, a lot of people are selling put options on MSTX. Volatility is insane. But this one expired worthless because it was 68. I sold the 55, collected $227. But this was December 27, before the fiasco that happened 2 days ago. I don't know what Sylvia is doing there, but I don't know. I love MSTX. I would probably change to MSTU. There's no volume in MSTU. If everyone boycott them, I will probably join, because this is absolutely ridiculous. If you see this is absolutely, I didn't understand what happened. I went to the website and I saw they declare $14. They declare $14 dividend. It went for, and then after that, it actually went down another 8% because probably the MicroStrategy went down like 4 or 5%. So now it's 35. It was 100 bucks like, I don't know, like a month ago. This is absolutely disgusting. Look at this. This was not even 100. This was 200. In November 21, it was 200 bucks. And you see here, 8 times the Keltner channel on the extreme. It never fails. It was 140. and then it went down to the blue line, which is where it needs to trade. It's so new, it's new, so the graph doesn't show -70. It's not even real, but you know, the price is so extreme. I don't know, it's just disgusting what they have done. But the point here, the Keltner channel doesn't fail, and this is absolutely disgusting. So the 50, first of all, the 50 that I have is probably the $1,000 loss. I'll probably get a sign by January 17 on the other one. I'll show you this in a minute as well. But this one expired worthless. We collected $250 in a week, and needs to fall 20%. It did fall, but after the expiration, this was a lucky trade. Usually, as I said, I trade for January 17. But you are happy with the $230 in a week. Trading MSTX is absolutely crazy. Let's move on. Yeah. Next one is the SPY. This was when the market went down like 2%. I don't trade stocks, I trade risk. And this was a rare day to trade a SPY. A lot of YouTube random videos will tell you, hey, do the covered call, do the wheel on SPY, $50,000 here, $50,000 there. Absolutely disgusting with these videos. Look at this, SPY, sell the 550 at the open. That was for that was on the extreme, but the trade that I've done is this one. Do the monthly expiration 560. Okay, SPY closed like 586 or something like that for the year. Sell the 560, collect $150. The buying power, look at this, buying power $8,000 compared to $55,000 on Robinhood, which is my love Tasty. And of course, the trade itself, instead of 150, was $233 income. 8 ATR on SPY. It never, literally never happens. 8 ATR that you can collect over $100. It's absolutely insane. And this was one day of extreme volatility. I took advantage. 233 profit, selling the January 17 550 put. It will expire worthless unless we're gonna have a massive drop down the first 2 weeks of the year. And if it does, great. Then and only then I'll own 100 shares of SPY at 550 for $55,000. And if you go here, you go to SPY, it doesn't matter. It's if it drops another 10% from here, great. Let's go to the January 17. You go to the 550, and then you see here the price is like $65. So you're up 170 or so in like a week or 10 days. Why? Because volatility dropped. That's it. Volatility dropped. This was a beautiful trade. Collect $230. You see here, 230 here, 150 there, and the buying power is 8,000 for this, 8,000 for that, for the Johnson & Johnson, for all those trades, 150, 200, 100, 200, all those trades. You need anywhere between $4,000 to $8,000 on average to collect. Like I have a set of rules for myself to aim for $100 for every $5,000 in buying power. So for every 5,000, I collect at least 100. It's not exact science, but this is what I'm trying to get. That's it. Now to do this on Robinhood, 5,000, you would have to sell put options on a $50 stock. And if you do 8 ATR, I'm not gonna guarantee, but there's a very, very high chance that you will not get $100 selling 8 ATR on a $50 stock. And at the end of the day, I want those stocks that I sell options on, I want to own them at 8 times the ATR under the current price, not random stock because the price is cheap. And then I show pictures, and you see here the 8 times ATR is 548. This is why we sold the 550. Again, everything in the free course that you can learn. This was a beautiful thing. All the stuff with United Healthcare in the news, I'm not going to talk about it, but the price fell from like 600 to 480, and we sold the 400 put. We collected $280. This was a little high. BP buying power 12,000, but again, if you have Robinhood, you would need $40,000 to do the same trade to collect the same amount of income of 280. Almost at the extreme level on the green. I would love to own United Healthcare If it drops 20% in 30 days, this is United Healthcare. This isn't a penny stock. This is absolutely insane. The price that it went from 600. You see here the United Healthcare, the green line, the Keltner channel is 450. And we didn't even go to 450. This is the IVR. Look at this. The IVR is like 127. If you know me, everything above 50 means that the option is expensive, and I just sell options to collect the income. Look where we are now. You sell the 400, you collect almost 300 bucks, 280, depends when you got it. UNH, the price 500. You see, they went up from 480 to 500. If you go 20% from here, again, this isn't a penny stock. This is United Healthcare. It's worth 40 bucks. It's literally worthless. 40 bucks, you collected about 300, 280. Close the trade, move on, or wait 2 weeks to let it expire worthless. I should have sold it 450 just for me, because I actually want to own United Healthcare, but it doesn't matter. I've done this trade and collected, and that's it. That's it. Simple stuff. Collect another 250. Go do grocery shopping for like a day. Inflation. Other stuff, we got Nike. Price is like 74 today. I've checked. Selling 67.5 put. Collect 122. 2 contracts. Look at this. $4,000 in buying power. $4,000 in buying power gives you $122 income. Why? Because on this specific day, December 2nd, the options was super insanely expensive. Why? I don't know. Something happened, some news. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Expire worthless. But if you do the Robinhood, the same trade would cost you $13,000 in buying power. 13,000 compared to 4,000. The result is the same. You collect 120 bucks. 2 weeks from now, as long as Nike stays above this price, it's gonna expire worthless. And if it doesn't, yeah, I'll own 200 shares of Nike at 67, which is better than 79 almost. Kruger is also around 60 bucks. We sold the 55. Collect 124 income. Again, 2 contracts. Look at this. This is for small account. 2 contracts, 3,300 buying power. You do this on Robinhood. You collect $11,000. You don't collect. You put a cash secured $11,000. Collect the same amount of income. That's why no one is talking on YouTube about any other stock than Nvidia or Apple or Tesla, because the income is just not there. The income is not there. Now, no one will say, hey, go trade Kruger, put $11,000 on the line and collect 124. No one will say that, because people will laugh. You still collect 124, but you just need to put $3,000 on the line. In about a month and a half later, expire worthless. Coinbase, it was 310. We sold the 160. Look at this, 160. I love for Coinbase to go back to under 200. Hopefully it will. I'll probably sell again this month for Coinbase. And I want to own Coinbase. Sure, definitely. I have Coinbase and I have Ethereum. But that's a different story. From all the crypto, my exposure, and I'll probably own a little bit of MSTX because of Sylvia. That's a different story. But my mass position in general is Coinbase and Ethereum. But yeah, I'm doing this for the income. Collect 130 bucks. Look at this, 8,800. This one is January 17. It's not the January 1st. It's a little mistake, but that's fine. I need to edit it. 130 bucks, $8,800 in buying power. Robinhood, you will need $16,000 in buying power. Coinbase is like 220 or something, last I've checked. FedEx, same thing, 300 bucks stock, 295. You sell the 250, it's like 280 now, something like that. Collect 200 bucks, $7,500 in buying power. Absolutely insane. $7,500 in buying power, $200 in income. If you have Robinhood, you would need $25,000 to make this trade and collect almost 200 bucks. Will you do it? No. Will people on YouTube do it? No, because no one will put, it just doesn't make sense to put Unless you already have 100 shares of FedEx, then you do covered calls. But if you want to own FedEx, if I want to own FedEx, which I do, it's part of my forever stocks, FedEx, UPS, both of them. If I'm selling 250, sure, I'll collect 188 bucks. If it goes to 250, then and only then I will put $25,000 on the line. If it doesn't, I'll collect 200, next month 200, next month 200, etc., etc. Buying power, absolutely insane. This is what I'm trying to teach everyone on the school group, on those free YouTube channel. And by the way, since day one, this channel started in November or mid-October. I think November, not even 2 months. There's, I don't know, this, I would say like 60, 70 trades with about close to $9,000, give or take 8 to 9,000. You will see that the average is about 4 or 5K a month, depends on volatility. On super volatile months, you can make 5K. On super low months, like where we are now, this environment, it's about 3K, give or take. It's not zero, but it is for longevity, and you can pay your monthly bills and be happy about it. Okay, you're not gonna make millions, but you can pay your monthly bills. This is what I'm trying to do. That's it. It's plain and simple. Okay, let's do what else we got. Let's continue. Most of the Theta decay pair tasty comes between day 45 and day 21. I'm counting on that. If you sell options, Tasty say all the research that they've done, all the studies, sell around 45 days to expiration and start managing the trade around 21 days to expiration. I do the same. I'm a little more flexible. I do 40 to 60 days to expiration, and I close 10 to 20 days to expiration. I don't manage, I don't troll, I don't do anything. I close the trade, I start fresh the next month. That's it. I don't troll up, I don't troll down, all this nonsense I don't do. I don't want to do that. I close, I make my money. I either let it expire worthless, or I close at break even, or I close for a loss. Simple as that. I don't stay on. Now this one is something that I'm doing. People don't like it, but I do. There's 5 ETFs. It will be in the advanced course. Something that generates me extra income. People don't like that specific strategy, or they don't know about it. But I got like oil, utility, I think healthcare, and 2 others, the regional banks, and one more. Where I sell for the weeklies, every week or every 2 weeks, depends on volatility. Every week I make a trade for 2 ATR. This is different, for 2 ATR, just to collect the income. And then if I get assigned, those are small ones, those are about $70-80 each. So like, I don't know, 200 shares, it's like, let's say 15K. And then I do the covered calls against that. That's it. I do the wheel. But that's simple as that. It's simple as that. It's not much. The original banks is like 55, so it's like $10,000. It's about 50-60K total when you get assigned on all of them. But then I just do the covered calls. There's premiums there. There's income, and those are ETF that I trust. Utility ETF. You see, oil ETF, all the regional banks ETF. In fact, let me show you where exactly this, and this will be in the next course that I'm building as well. You go to my Forever ETF, you see here XLE, select, let's see what this one says, Spider Trust Energy. So this is energy. SMH is all the semiconductor, NVIDIA and all that. XLU is the one you saw here, the utility. KRE is the regional banks, and VTI is the total stocks. You can sell naked puts and you can sell covered calls against that. 2 ATR for the weekly. I teach this in the next course that I'm doing. It's for monthly income, and if you do the XLU, it's 75.70. This was a trade for ATR. I usually, as I said, I sell the 2 ATR, collect $100 in here. We sold the 77. We're now exactly with the income. We are at like 76.5. So we are in the money, and if by January 17, it stays. I did the monthly for this because it was 4 ATR and the money was good, but usually I do week after week after week after week. You know, 76, 77, doesn't matter, I can do the covered call. It's not like all the utility companies in the ETF will go to zero. If it does, yeah, I'll be down $15,000. That's my max risk. But this is income. This is an income play. Those I do every week. I sell, again, depends on volatility. 2 ATR up or down, depends if I starting a position or want to get called out by covered calls. This is just an income generating play, nothing else. This is beautiful. I mean, that's it. That is absolutely it. The most expensive one is this one, but this is why I do one on here and one on here, and here I do two, here I do two, here I do two. If I get a sign, yeah, it's part of the game. Here, if I get a sign, it's 30K. It is, but if you do, for example, let's show you real quick how it works. 2 ATR, $7, 345 times 2, $7. We're 290 minus $7, 283. You go here, you go, let's say from here, you go to the 280, give or take 282.5, which is the $7. You collect 130, but look at this. This is why I love Tasty. If you do this trade on Robinhood, you need to put 30K down $30,000 on the line, $28,000 on the line. You put 6,500 on the line. In 2 weeks you collect $130. The income is the same. $130 is the same income that you collect either on Robinhood or Tasty. Income is the same. The buying power on Tasty is 6,500. Buying power on Robinhood $28,000. This is what I'm trying to teach you. It is very, very good lesson to learn, good skills to have. Start, I don't know, do what you want. Link below to join the school group. Again, I try to bring you some knowledge that it doesn't happen on YouTube. No one is talking about Tasty other than Tasty itself, which I love. Go watch the show. After that, $3.72, it's like $70 now, give or take, a month later. Selling the 55 puts, earning tomorrow 30% downside cushion, $122, 2 contracts, 5K in bank power, and this will already expire, worthless. This was a beautiful trade, beautiful trade in 2 weeks. This was December 3rd, this is for December 20. 5K in bank power, compared to 55 times 2, $11,000 buying power in Robinhood. Result is the same, $122 income. CBOE, I want to own this. I actually want to own. A goal is 500 shares, $100,000. Just FYI, so you know what my plan. My plan, other than yield max that I have YMAX on Robinhood, for Tasty, I want to own from all the stocks. Let's say I got 50, I got around 60 forever stocks that I want to own. CBOE, okay, I want to own, and CME, this one, those two, I want to own 50,000 each. This one is the options. I think options gonna this year, the next, gonna explode even more than exploding now, because they're gonna go to a daily or something like that, or weekly on more value, more everything. And CBOE is the option, like the option clearinghouse. I don't know how to explain, but this was beautiful. Selling the 190, it's like 195 now, just one contract. 5,000 bank power. If it goes to January 17, great, to 190, great. If it doesn't, $100. If it does, yeah, I'll own CBOE at $19,000 compared to $21,000. Saved 2K plus the income. Most likely it will expire worthless, but if it doesn't, I'll be happy to own some shares. Yeah. Next is this one. People say Forex, gambling, all that stuff. I trade risk compared to reward. That's it. /6E is options on Euro Forex. This was the price 105. Now it's like 104 something. We did a short strangle delta neutral option strategy, 0.97 to 112. 2 contract, collect $320, $325. Look at this. Buying power $1,000, $1,160 in buying power. This still has a month to go, February 7th, okay? But this is absolutely insane. And you sell options on Forex, on futures. You don't get this on Robinhood, you just don't. The price of euro 105.8 ATR. If the euro goes to 0.97 on the downside or 112 on the upside, this is an insane move. It's absolutely insane move. In like 2 months, this was December 3rd. 2 contracts, I collect $320 if it doesn't. If it stays between this range, buying power is insane. I mean, sure, you can do, I don't know, $3,000 buying power, collect 1,000 income. It's up to you. I like to trade small, trade often, as the tasty slogan goes. If I go here, I'm going to show you this. You go to /6E, Euro Forex. Look at this. The price, 103.88. This is extreme. It went from 105 to like 138. The trade 0.97, 112, there was volatility. 2 contract, collect 325. You go to the February, this one 37 days from here. You sell the 0.97 on one side, okay, and you sell the 112. Look how far it is. 1 standard deviation, the dotted mark is the standard deviation. 2 standard deviation, you go even farther from that. 2 contracts right here. It's worth, the bank power is 1,000, max profit is still 225. You're sure you're up $100, but at the end of the day, you need to let time do its thing. So you got a month and like 37 days from here. Yeah, max loss is exponential. I like the bank power compared to what I get. It's up to you. 98% pop, and if it most likely will expire worthless. You do need to pay attention to those, because you know it's a risk. It's a risk, I'm not gonna lie, but 98% probability of profit, 2 times the 2 standard deviation. Yeah, and it still went down from 105 to 104. It needs to go to 97 in a month, but every day it loses the Theta decay. Every day is $12. Every day theoretically it loses $12. So I'm not gonna wait to expiration, but if this will go below 100, maybe in 2 weeks, it's $70-80. I'll close the trade and move on. And that's it. That's it. CME, it's like 240 now. It was still, let's see if it's still 240. Yeah, let me show you. CME 230. Okay, you're still away from 220. Collect $110. January 17. I wanna own 50,000 of here, which is like 250 shares and 250 shares of CBOE. That's my plan. That's 100K that I'm willing to put and do nothing. Just buy and hold, no covered calls, no nothing. Have a position of 100K in CME, which is the futures, which I assume eventually Robinhood will bring futures to the table, most likely, if they want more revenue, more income. Yeah, that's my thinking. But the main winner, other than Robinhood, will be CME for futures, CBOE for options. Shame Tasty doesn't go public. I would probably buy some shares. 240, you sell the 220, collect $120, $6,600 buying power compared to $22,000 in buying power. 25% less, 25% buying power than what you need on Robinhood for the same outcome. Match, this is the Tinder, it's 30 free, sold the 30 put, free contract, collect $160, $3,000 in buying power, beautiful. And if match Tinder goes under 30, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. It's still 30 free, 32.70. Nothing changed other than the fact that that the time went by a month, and this 30 puts probably worth a lot less. I can check if you want. You know what, let me show you. At the end of the day, you just wait the expiration. If you do the 30, yeah, it's worthless. You got free contracts, yeah, it's still $50. I want to collect that $50. I'm not gonna close the trade, and that's it. $3,000 buying power. Eat. We closed this trade, we made $700. I've done a YouTube video on this. Again, This is options on future. We sold Iron Condor. It was 3,800. We sold the Condor 3,000 and 3,100 on one side, and 5,000 and 5,900 on the other side, and it was around 3,006. Like a month later, we sold for $700 profit. So this, we collected 1,075, and I closed around 325, so around 750 income. Buying power $5,000. This is the same for Robinhood as well, because it's Iron Condor, but you cannot do this trade on Robinhood because you don't have futures on Robinhood. So that's another pro for 60 compared to con for Robinhood. Okay, yeah. Theta decay, $40 a day. This is the beautiful thing when you sell options on Extreme, on IVR, on all that stuff that I check every single day. Every day this option lost $40, and about a month later we closed it for $700 profit. And then I explain Avago 170, it's like 220 now. We sold the 140 put, collect $100. It will expire worthless, $4,000 buying power compared to 14,000 in Robinhood. Beautiful. This trade was a loss for me and a win for everyone that is in the group. It was 370. We sold the 270 put. It's like 420 now. Collect 150. Will expire worthless. Buying power is a little high. I then went and sold the 500 like a week later. I sold the 500 calls because the Keltner channel was. Let me show you how important is the Keltner channels on my settings and why it's so powerful. You see here, Keltner channel, I sold the 500 calls. I got panicked and I sold for a loss. But you see here, it break fire. It was 480 at one time, at one point, above the 8 times the extreme Keltner channel. And with anything it lives, needs to reverse back to its mean, which is around 350. And this changes daily, but it needs to go back to the blue line, stay there for a little bit, I mean like months and months, until the next move, either to the red or the green lines to the extreme. And when it goes there, you do the same thing. But at the end of the day, what I didn't do, but what I should have done is just buy puts, buy the 350 puts. This was I will teach this in the course as well, the next course that I'm working on as we speak. But when it was 380, I saw the 500 calls because I saw the Keltner channel, and yeah, it never fails. It never fails. It goes here, and then a couple of days later, it cannot hold 8 times the Keltner channel to the extreme, and it needs to go back to the blue line. And yeah, I sold for a loss, but it is what it is. But the group didn't take this trade, so that's something to consider. Let's continue. Another option trade on future, M&Q mini Nasdaq futures, price 21,600. We did a delta neutral option strategy, a short strangle. See the price 21.5, let's call it 21.6, let's call it 21.5. 10% to the downside, 10% to the upside, 19.5 or 23.5. This is the range. We collect 142 income, $4,400 buying power, free contract, already expired, worthless. Let me show you how it is right now. MNQ/MNQ. This is the mini version to use less buying power. See the price 21,200. It expired, worthless. 21,200. It was 21,600 when we took the trade. We collected $140, free contract, expired, worthless. Beautiful trade. This is what I'm saying. All those small singles, single hit. I'm not aiming for a home run. I'm not buying call options. Just on extreme cases like Keltner channel, calls and puts. We'll teach that on the course. But I aim for singles. $100 here, $200 there, 300 on United Healthcare. All those trades in a month adds up to a couple of $1,000, 3,000-4,000 K. Pay your monthly bills, be a happy camper. Okay, this is the mini Nasdaq future. Contract so small account can try it again. You do not have this on Robinhood. You do not have options. and you don't have future options on future. Short strangle, you sell naked put and a naked call together at the same time. The goal is for the price to be between those calls and puts. Delta neutral option strategy, and you see here Theta decay, 16 bucks. That's what we got. Beautiful trade. Sell 3 of those. Yeah, 94% pop when you took the trade. Delta of 0.02 is a delta neutral strategy. Expire worthless. Happy camper. Nvidia, it was 140. We sold the 120 put, collected 123 bucks. Beautiful. 3,600 in buying power compared to $12,000 buying power, which people do. People do $12,000 buying power on Robinhood because they don't know that Tasty offered this much. This is what I'm trying to teach you. MSTX, look at this nonsense. $100. Look at the time. December 9. I try. I don't know if I will do it because Defiance, I want to boycott them as well, like Oracle said for yield max. I want to boycott them for this nonsense. I don't have Defiance funds. I only have YMAX. That's it on Robinhood for the margin. That's it. At MSTX, look at this. $100. We sold 50, just one contract, 50 puts, 50% off. Look at this. Check my rule, 50% off rule, more in the course. I got $465 income for January 17. There's still 2.5 weeks. It was a cash secured put because this was too extreme and they just do, I don't know, they just, the Tasty also don't trust Defiance, it seems like this. It dropped to 35. How crazy can you be to drop to 35? That's what? 65% drop in 3 weeks. Are you kidding me? 65% drop. Now I sold the put option. I don't get the dividend. Sylvia just said, hey, $14 dividend from today till tomorrow. Sure, why not? There's no implication. Everyone will be happy. No. That is this disgusting move. You should have announced it like a month before, saying, hey, by the end of the year, we're going to have a massive dividend. You haven't. Absolutely disgusting with Sylvia and the Defiance. I want to vow that I will never touch MSTX. That's the only one that I traded, but I probably will because the income is insane. So we'll see. Selling the 50 put, so I'll get assigned $5,000 minus my income, so I'll be down 4,000. I'm not gonna be down 4,500 because so let's say I collected this, and this is the put, so my break even is like 45, 46 bucks. Now it's 35. If it stays under 45, give or take, that's my break even. I'll be down theoretically $1,000 on this trade. At this point, I'll own 100 shares, and I'll definitely wheel that nonsense out and sell the 50 calls again, covered calls, to just get out of this nonsense. And hopefully, MicroStrategy will correct, and MSTX Sylvia will correct as well. But this is a disgusting move to do a dividend of $14 on a $50 stock. How did it drop from 100 to 50 in the first place in 3 weeks? Is another question, but that's something that I don't think MicroStrategy went down 25% in 3 weeks. I just don't see it. Now let's check MSTX again. This you will see the Keltner channel. MSTR MicroStrategy. Let me show you. Price 290. You see here, same thing. Keltner channel never fails. It was 550. So yeah, it dropped a lot from November. It drops to back to the blue line. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Should have just some puts when it was around the Keltner channel right here. But it never fails. It just takes time to get from the extreme line back to the blue line. And now it should do nothing for months. And those times are the best time to sell options, when it does nothing and it's traded on the blue line. Again, I teach all of this even in the free course. Go check it out. Link below. This is a beautiful move. It moved above 8 times the Keltner channel. If you're here and you don't want to go crazy, just buy some puts for a couple of months ahead. It is expensive. That was the problem with buying puts. It's so expensive VR. But yeah, that's because you see here, if you buy puts around here, when the IVR is over 100, 110, 120, that's expensive. But it actually get there. So something to consider. I don't think it will go to the green line at 35. Of course not. This is like 90% drop from here. I mean, anything can happen. But as of now, you see here, theoretically, a stock 80% of the year roughly needs to do nothing and trade around the blue line, and this is the time to sell options. When it goes to the extreme at one point in the year, is a time to buy some puts for the blue line, but a little far ahead, like 3 months out of the money, not 30 days. Of course, it's going to be expensive. Everything is, you need to consider everything. Okay, let's continue. This sheet was 192. They had some news. We saw the 170 put. It's around 170 now, 168, 169. Collect 132. There's still 2.5 weeks to go. $5,000 buying power. I might close this at like break even or like $100 loss or something. It's fine. It's fine. Or I'll own 100 shares of Hershey. I still haven't decided. I have 2 weeks. Depends on the price. Posted news yesterday. IVR went over 100, so I took advantage. Yeah, and if I am gonna own Hershey stock for the chocolate, I prefer to do it at 170 compared to 192. And if I do get the sign, I'll probably do covered calls against that and get rid of Hershey. That's it. I don't want to own Hershey for the rest of my life. This was a beautiful one, $27. Sold at 21 puts, 3 contracts, collect $150, 4,000 buying power, 37% IV change. You see, same thing. I have checkpoints, checklist that I follow. It's not 100%, but this is my edge over the market. 37% change, IVX 5-day change rate in volatility. And I sold the 21, which is like 30% drop in a month. 30% drop in a month. If it does happen, yeah, I'll own like 300 shares of Unity. It was like $120 like 3 years ago. And most likely it won't get to 21. If you go to U right here, let's see, Unity price 22. Okay, we're getting closer. I haven't checked this for a month. This is interesting. It's still above 21. It still has 10% to go. You go here, you could be at the loss. You go to the 21 times 3 right here. If you're scared, you can close this trade for like what, $50 loss, 200 now. Those 3 contracts give you 150. You can close the trade. Oh, I'm so afraid. Close the trade for $50 loss, or you still have 10% to drop from 22.5 to 21. Not 10, like 7-8% more drop from here. If you go to the graph, let's see where the Keltner channel is. We're nowhere. We're still in the blue. It's fine. Can it go to 11? I don't know. Still 2.5 weeks to drop another 7-8%. If it's around 21 in the last 48 hours, then and only then I start to think, okay, do I want to own shares or do I not want to own shares? And then I will decide if I close the trade. That's all it is. It's not a big deal. You see, it dropped from 27 to 22. It lost like 20 something percent. And you lost 50 on paper. You lost $50 on paper, which you can still make in the next 2.5 weeks if you took this trade. Absolutely insane. This is another stock that I own and do like trades against that. Again, in the advanced course, HIMS, $30. You sold the $20 put, free contract, collect $135 income. Look at this, $3,700. Compared to, not a lot, $6,000 on Robinhood. I still prefer $3,700 over $6,000 Robinhood. 5-day change in volatility, not in price, was over 14%. Let's go to HIMS right here. It was 30, now it's 24. And that's it, it's fine. And you still have 20. Still up 20. It's still 20% away from here. There's no rush to do anything. You do here free contracts 135. We collected 135. Nothing changed. Nothing changed except the price went from 30 to 24. It dropped. It dropped 20%. It needs to drop another 20% from 24 to 20. If it does, great. I want to own this freaking shares. I want to own this company. And if not, most likely it will not drop another 20% in 2.5 weeks. But if it does, great. I prefer to own shares at 20 and not at 30. If it doesn't, that 135 will be worthless. Moderna, so was another one. 42, we sold the 30 puts, collect 140, free contract. It went up a little last few days. I've seen this will expire. What 30 puts? 30. It was like, I don't know, like $200 stock. 1 point. Go here, Moderna. 41. It was 41 when we sold it. It was 42, and a month later, 3 weeks later, it's 41. What happened? The option went worthless. That's all that happened. Stock went nowhere. Options went worthless. Free stock is now worth $45. I'll let it go to zero because I want to collect the entire income. I don't see it going to $30. I just don't. And I prefer 4,500 buying power compared to 9,000 Robinhood. Yeah. You see here, if I can sell 30% out of the money naked puts on stocks that I don't want to own forever and collect over $100, I still do it. That's another side rules. MSTX, same thing. Dodged the bullet on this one. It was $100. Sold the 60 put. Collect 150. Expiration in 9 days, December 20. This was beautiful. Expire worthless. Yeah, so we're good on Misty. Just absolutely disgusting what we have done to us. Doubling down on MSTX. They bought, sold the 50 naked puts, which expire worthless. No. So we did 3, 2 expire worthless in December 20 and December 27, and the 50 naked puts that we collected $460, give or take. We still have until January 17. I'm not counting on that to I will probably get a sign on that, but I'm not a fan of Sylvia. Okay, and another one, the last one, MU, $109. We sold the 85 puts. Look at this. This was before the earnings, $172 income, 2 contracts, $6,000, $800 in buying power, compared to like $22,000 in buying power. It's not ATR, 8 ATR, but it's far enough for me to take the trade and make the daily income. 110 price, you sold the 85 put. This is a beautiful trade. If you go here, and yeah, I like to own MU at 85, which it dropped. If you remember, after the earnings it went to like 87, and that's fine. That is fine. I still have 2.5 weeks to go. Would you rather buy, say, 200 shares for, how much is it, $22,000, or would you like to buy 100 shares for $17,000? That's a $5,000 difference. $5,000 difference. And if you go here to the 85, sure, you think it went from 110 to 85, it's 84. Could I get a sign? Sure. In order to get a sign, if you do 2, we are now at 600. You can say to yourself, okay, I'm down $400. I collected 170. I'm down $400. I can close the trade now, or I can let it ride out, because at the end of the day, yeah, I want to own freaking shares of MU. This was $80 like 3 months ago. It went back to 110, back to $80. Let me show you this, the Keltner channel. Look at this. We are here. It went over 100. Now it's 84. The green line is 67. I don't know. Can it go to 67? Sure. But the Keltner, look at this Keltner channel, 125, back to the blue line. Back again to around 160, back to the blue line. The blue line changes every time. If it goes to 67 and I will be at a loss for a couple of months, I'll probably buy some calls against the blue line a couple of months ahead. Sure, Can this be a loss of 400 if I close it today? Sure. Can I wait 2 weeks and see where we at? So the $300 this is expensive. This box, this the 85 is now theoretically 85 cents, 84 cents per contract. Okay, it's 300 because volatility, because of time decay. It's mostly volatility and less time decay, but we'll see. If it goes to 82, then it's worth 300 per share, per 100 shares. It's not 82, it's 84. I'm not too worried about it. But imagine if you bought shares at 109. Imagine that. If you want to own MU, would you rather buy MU at 109 or at 85? Up to you. I preferred 85. That's what I have for you today. Join school group below. All the community is open. Free course. Again, the free course is live. I'm working on all those trades. Can I summarize how much I made? No, because there's still 2 weeks. But I assume anywhere between 3 and 4K is all those trades come to be. 200 here, 150, 100, 300, etc., etc. This is a free course. This is $100 one-time fee, going to $50 a month. Link below to join the community and get 1 free trades a day. I'll see you next time. Yeah.